So Mexican Spanish is, well, I hate to say this, is one of the more looked down upon Spanish by other Spanish-speaking cultures. And that's because a lot of American words come down and kind of mix their way into the language. That being said, there are some words that are specifically unique to Mexico, and the slang, you have to be careful with the slang. Because some of the slang that people use in the street is perfectly okay, and some of the slang is not okay to use. And so you just gotta keep an eye out and know what things are okay to say. As a general rule, I wouldn't really use slang until you understood exactly what the word meant. Although a really good word for you to know in Mexican Spanish is mande. Mande is basically, huh? It's basically saying, what did you just say? I didn't quite catch that. So it's a really good way to help someone say, yeah, Monday is like, what? And they'll usually just repeat what they said. I have found that's probably the most useful Mexican slang word I have ever learned. South American Spanish is pretty different from Mexican Spanish. South American Spanish tends to have, from what I understand, more of a... They have an entire other verb tense they use, but that's not the point. It's a lot more proper. Mexican Spanish is usually a lot faster. Not nearly as fast as, say, Puerto Rican Spanish or Dominican Spanish, but it's a little bit faster, so it's a little bit harder to keep up. And people will notice that they'll peg you instantly as having served in Mexico when you speak Spanish, because your Spanish will come out a little bit faster. Sometimes it's a little more nasally, depending on the region. So there's kind of like a general Mexican Spanish accent, which is just pretty normal. The one most people are familiar with, actually, is the Northern Mexico accent. That one's very nasally. They pronounce their CH as more like an SH. They don't say Chihuahua. They say Chihuahua with a sh instead of a ch. In El DF, El Distrito Federal, they sing with a very sing-songy voice. In Spanish, it's cantadito. They say things like, "Oye, jefe, ¿cómo estás?" That's very up and down, modulating voice. As for the other regions, I'm not that familiar. Those are usually the most easy. Those are the easiest ones to pick out, though, is a DF accent and a Northern accent. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about Mexican Spanish. It's just a little bit faster and a little bit more informal than other kinds of Spanish. I mean, Spain Spanish, don't even try comparing the two. It's just a nightmare.